Well, if the cats leave me alone, I'll get a video up. White House proves the conspiracy theorists were right about because the White House now has a plan to block the sun to fight climate change. Oh yeah, I'll put a link to this. It's something that you've got to look at, read, understand. Something else, people. This is not something new. They may need to block the sun in order to prevent global climate change. Let's go over here a minute. Trouble, you move your butt. Hey. Zoom in on this. This is some time back. A guy gave me this. This was it's called Taking Aim. That come from a militia of Montana. Volume 5, issue number 9, March 1999. Now I'll zoom in on that. I can. Okay. Now you know everything that everybody did from the Clinton era on. Oh no, no, it was against what the government wanted. Okay, let's get over here. What's this say? Hospitals jammed as banned pesticide is sprayed from the sky. Zoom in on this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That ain't too bad. Maybe get it a little lower. Okay. As formations of unmarked tanker aircraft continue to crisscross American skies on a mission authorities refuse to disclose, an environmental laboratory has identified an extremely toxic component of the spray drifting across cities and countrysides. ENS has learned that samples of oily fallout collected by farmers, truck drivers, and pilots in Maryland and Pennsylvania were tested by the Aquatech Environmental of Marion, Ohio in September 1997 and found to contain ethyl dibrominine, I think. It's EDB. An extremely hazardous pesticide. EDB was banned by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in 1983. But in 1991, the composition of jet fuel used by commercial and military jet aircraft was changed from JP4 to somewhat less flammable JP8. The Department of Defense source says that the move has saved more lives in the air crashes. Ethylbromine, or whatever it is a key component of JP8. The 1991 chemical hazard of the workplace warns that repeated exposure to low levels of ethylbromine results in general weakness, vomiting, diarrhea, chest pains, coughing, shortness of breath, upper respiratory tract irritation, respiratory failure, tract caused by swelling of the lymph nodes and in the lungs. Okay, deterioration of the heart, liver, and kidneys, and hemorrhages in the respiratory tract, and also results from prolonged contact with JP8. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, hazardous material is a carcinogen, must be handled with extreme caution. A 7-page summary of this pesticide's extreme toxic notes. EDB also damages the reproductive system. Let's see. EDB is 6.5 times heavier than air. Unlike normal contrails, the thick white streamers being streamed from downward positioned trail booms of over 39 states does not dissipate, but spreads into an overcast that reflects a purple color in sunlight and appears suddenly as an oily film in puddles and ponds. Hundreds of photographs and videotapes from ground observers show pairs of large formations of aircraft spreading a white mist that thickens and drifts towards the ground. More than 200 eyewitnesses, including police officers, pilots, military, public health personnel, have provided detailed accounts of aerial spraying and characteristic X's from east to west grid patterns, followed by screwed up skies, and acute autoimmune reaction to respiratory infections through affected regions. I keep coughing phlegm. It tastes bad, 50-year-old said Mariunga Salong Arkansas, after her aircraft sprayed her home at rooftop level one night last January. So, people, the people of the Chemtrail conspiracists, you were right. You were absolutely right. This goes on and on and on, people. I don't have time to sit there and read the whole thing. So January 7th, Philadelphia Daily News reported emergency room patients overflowed into the hallways of West Jersey Hospital in Berlin, New Jersey, and ambulance crews were temporarily diverted to other institutions as wave of respiratory illness swept the area. There was a 24-hour waiting period to get in. They had all kinds of these patients. Many people are getting ill, and all because they're spraying the sky. They've been doing this for years, people. I just showed you. Since 1997, at least, they've started spraying the skies. Why? To, well, this call it chemical warfare, really. They're trying to justify the United Nations idea of global warming. They don't call it global warming anymore. It's still climate change. Same damn thing. Okay, I'll put a link to the next news thing. Gary Franchi or something like that. Hang on, people. Get this adjusted. Well, it's kind of adjusted, ain't it? Hang in there, people.
Sun in order to stop climate change. Yes. It's crazy, but hear me out. The White House has just announced that they're considering blocking out the sun in order to stop climate change. Yes, you heard me correctly. To reflect sunlight away from the Earth, they're considering spraying fine aerosols into the atmosphere, otherwise known as chemtrails. As the final days of the UN Climate Summit wind down, the fear has been ratcheted up to apocalyptic levels. Take, for example, the opening remarks by the UN Secretary General, who told the world we're on a highway to climate hell.
Okay, people. Now you understand what the United States government has been screwing you over all these years just for more control. Now, if you want to do something when you get our new Congress in, they need to revoke the United Nations Charter and get that communist organization off of our soil, out of our hair, out of our bank accounts. I'll put a link to this, guys.